Hello, everybody, and welcome to a quick cut stream as we get set for the NFYFC Championship weekend here. Starting off, it's the Creek Outlaws taking on the Village Torres. It's 6 under group to get things kicked off on this beautiful Saturday morning. It's nice and chilly outside, but the sun is coming down pretty hard where I'm at right now. Creek Outlaws wearing their black uniforms with their black helmets and white numbers. And then the Village Torres wearing their pink jerseys with black pants and then black numbers as they get set to go ahead and do the coin toss and get things underway here in just a couple of moments. Creek Outlaws are your home team for today's game here at Bulls High School. And it's quite a production they have put on here to get set for these games. Pretty impressive. Got the cheerleaders down there and everything. Team captains currently at center field getting things set. And the Creek Outlaws have won the coin toss, so they'll defer to the second half. So the Village Torres will start out on offense to start this game. We'll have 22-minute halves for this game. And then they do have marks on the field as well for where the out of bounds are, as the field is a little bit shorter. Not playing the full field. And we are set to get things underway with the Torres starting on offense.
Villages have the ball on the 35-yard line. And shotgun.
Here's the snap. They'll try to run that one to the outside.
Rule will be placed back at the line of scrimmage.
So the ball will go back to the line of scrimmage now.
Bring up 2nd and 10 for the Torres.
So 2nd and 10 now. Torres starting on their own 35-yard line. They've got the play, and they'll head up to the line of scrimmage. And shotgun takes the snap. It's going to be a quarterback run heading up the left side. And he's got some room to run. He's still going. He's across the 50, now the 40, and one man to beat, but he's just taken down at the 25-yard line. A beautiful run. Picking up a huge chunk of yardage and putting the Toros, right into scoring position. Sets up a 1st and 10 at the 29. Coach is handing out the play call. And they'll set up in the shotgun. Takes the snap, another run. Oh, we lost the ball on that one though, so it'll be a dead ball, and we will now go back to the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 10 now for the Toros. Again, setting up in that shotgun formation. Take the snap, and that one goes by him again as well. So we'll set up for 3rd and 10 now. So we'll set it for 3rd and 10. Again, running in shotgun. Toros take the snap. It's a direct snap once again. Runs up the middle, makes a cut back. It's still on his feet, and they can't pull him down. They finally take him down at the 19-yard line. Another good quarterback run. The 2 big plays they've had have been on similar plays, but credit to the quarterback for that vision to be able to make that cut in the middle of that run to pick up the extra yardage. And they'll get set. It's 4th down. He was just short of the 1st yard line. Direct snap once again. Here's a run, and he goes tumbling down, but picks up enough for the 1st down. And the Torres continue their drive despite a couple of tough snaps. They have been able to run the ball very effectively to start this game. First and 10, officially spotted the 16. Here's the snap. He thought about throwing it, but it's time he's going to run it again. Gets hit, spins around, stays on his feet, and then is finally taken down for maybe a gain of about 1. So that'll make it 2nd and 9 now for the Torres. Oh, set it up for a 2nd and 9 now. Torres in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. He's going to run it out to the left. He's got a couple of blockers. Gets through one set, still on his feet, and is taken down right about the 10-yard line, which will set up a 3rd and short situation. Another good run. A credit to these kids. They know how to block. They've thrown some good blocks, and the quarterback has proven to be tough to take him down. And I'll tell you one thing, I couldn't do this at 6 years old, that's for sure. Again, here's the snap, and that one is dropped, so that'll make it a dead ball. And it's going to be about 4th and 5. Toros look to pick up the first down and keep this drive alive.
4th and 4 for the Toros. Outlaw defense trying to hold here.
Toros take the snap. Again, a direct run out to that left side, trying to get some room, but good job by the defense to take him down, and that'll be a turnover. And a good stop for the Creek Outlaws. Well, that play had been working for the Toros all day long. And that's a quick quarterback run to the outside, couple of blocks and get into the secondary, but the defense was ready for it that time, filled in the holes, and got the ball back for their offense now to come out for the first time. So score still 0-0. Just under 14 minutes now remaining in this first half. So let's see what the Outlaws can do on offense. Set up under center, hands this one off. A good run up the middle, tries to cut to the near sideline, and is taken down. Good running for maybe 5 or 6 yards there. And we've seen an excellent run game to start off for both of these offenses. Kids have shown excellent vision after getting into the secondary and making a couple moves to pick up some extra yards.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, if I can see. I have my glasses on.
They'll hand this one off again, up the middle. And this one only goes for a gain of maybe 1 yard. Good job by the Toros defense to hold them there.
Bring up 3rd down 3 for the Outlaws.
So 3rd and short now. Outlaws looking to try and pick up their first down of the game. Toros trying to get, or excuse me, the Outlaws getting lined up. And they'll go in the shotgun for this play. No running backs in the backfield. Takes a snap. He'll run out to the near sideline. Good cut there. He's got some room to run. He's got the 1st and more, and he's finally taken down out of bounds just shy of their own 30-yard line. Great quarterback run from the Outlaws to pick up that first down. First and 10, about the Outlaws' own 29-yard line. And they'll get set up in the shotgun with a running back to the left. Outlaws take this snap. It's a handoff, reverse to the other side. If he's got some speed, he can get around him. Still on his feet. He's got the first down, and he's taken down just shy of the 40-yard line. That should be enough for the first down. A great play design from the Outlaws, and they are continuing to roll. And it does look like they're going to mark him just a yard shy, I believe. Nope, it is a first down. Now the chains are moving, so a big run play there to pick up the first. It's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line for the Outlaws.
Outlaws under center.
Quarterback sits up under center for this play. I'll take the snap, and that snap is the first bad snap for the Outlaws, so we'll redo that play. And we'll go to 2nd and 10 now. Toros had a couple of faulty snaps on their drive. That's only the first one for the Outlaws. But 2 impressive drives from the offenses so far to start it off for both these teams. Toros got pretty close down to the end zone, but weren't able to punch it in after the Outlaws made a big defensive stand. Here's the snap. They're going to hand it off onto the outside again. The Toros are all over this one, but he's still running. Makes a nice little cut there and turns what could have been a loss into a nice game. And that'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Outlaws. Actually be closer to 3rd and 4. Outlaws trying to keep their drive alive. Here's the handoff, another run. Up to the, tries to bounce to the outside, but the Toros with a good defensive stand, and that'll set up a 4th and 4 coming up for the Outlaws.
4th and 4 for the Outlaws.
Outlaws trying to keep their drive alive. Outlaws lining up under center, 2 running backs in the backfield. He'll take the snap, he'll hand this one off, some good blocking, and into the secondary, and he's got enough for the first down.
Looks like it is a first down, Outlaws.
A great run play for the Outlaws to pick up the first and keep their drive alive. So now 1st and 10 sitting up at the 50-yard line.
7 minutes left in the first half.
7 minutes remaining in this first half. Outlaws trying to put the first points up of the game as they now inch closer to Toros territory.
Quarterback under center.
Again, lined up under center with 2 running backs in the backfield. The handoff, and now a run up the middle, and he's stopped hard for a short gain, about 3 yards.
Pick up 3.
Toros defense are ready for that one. So that'll bring up 2nd and 7 now for the
2nd down, 7.
Outlaws, who are now into Toros territory. Again, line up under center. Same formation on the last play. They'll hand this one off. He's going to try to bounce the outside. He's got 1 defender on him, but he gets around him, though, and picks up about 2 on the play. So that'll set up a 3rd and about 4.
Creeks has a 3rd down, 4.
Again, Toros defense were right there to almost tackle him for a loss, but Outlaws have shown their speed to be able to get around the outside and turn those plays into positive yardage. Now, under 5 minutes to play in that first half. Toros take this snap. They're going to hand it off, and I go to run to the near side. The ball is out. The Outlaws are able to jump on top of it and recover it. And it'll end up being no gain on the play. So fourth and 4, I believe. A smart play for that. The ball came out and they jumped right on top of it. And now another 4th down for the Outlaws. Their second 4th down of this drive, looking to go 2 for 2 and keep this drive going. There's the handoff to the outside, and he's got lots of room to run all the way down, just shy of the 30-yard line. There is a flag on the field, though, and it's going to be a hold against the offense, so that'll bring that run back. So that's going to make it a 4th and long for the Outlaws. Sets up a long 4th down now for the Outlaws.
There we go. 4th and 14.
4th and 14 officially. They'll line up under center for this play. He'll hand this one off, and another reverse back the other way. He's got some room to run, still on his feet. He's picked up the 1st down, one more man to beat, and he's finally taken down at the 29-yard line. Great run from the Outlaws, and they are right back into this thing, picking up a huge 4th and 14. That was number 8 on the carry. They set up 1st and 10. Line up under center, takes the snap. He'll hand that one off, bounce it out to the outside. Still got some room to run, cross the 20, and taken down at about the 15-yard line. That was Landon Mirbella on the carry. He's had an excellent day so far. He had that earlier reverse play that picked up that 4th and 14. So 1st and 10 for the Outlaws.
Yeah, no, because there'd be 2 interfering blitzes. He's on the roof right now, and then we put an HDMI through the window.
Yeah, whistle now before the snap.
Yeah, he had a bit of trouble finding it out.
I apologize. That was Carter Ott on the carry for the Outlaws. Here's the snap. It's a direct snap and a run to the outside. Room to run. Cross the 10, and he's taken down just shy of the first down yard marker. That was Landon Mirbella on the carry. So both Landon and Carter have had excellent running days for the Outlaws, and they have taken them all the way down inside the 10-yard line. As the Outlaws look to put up the first points of this game, 40 seconds left in the half. Yeah, whistles blow before this snap. Clock is stopped at 31 seconds.
31 seconds left. I believe it's a equipment timeout. He ran somebody out.
And we'll get set to go again here. Quarterback lines up under center. It's a direct snap there again. And the reverse to Carter Ott. Ott with some room to run, but good job by the Toros defense to take him down behind the line of scrimmage. So that sets up a 4th and 4. Outlaws take a timeout to stop the clock at 13 seconds. Third and short for the Outlaws. They could just get off one of those run plays that they had earlier.
Third and 3 from the 10.
They could punch this one in the end zone and get the first points of the game. Shotgun formation for the Outlaws. Landon takes the snap. He's going to run to the outside. He's got some room to run. One man to beat, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. And the Outlaws have put up 6 points to start this game. A beautiful long drive that results in a touchdown. And it was number 22, Landon Mirbella, on the carry. And the Outlaws have taken a lead just before the end of the half.
Point conversion. For the point after tries, the 5-yard line is 2 points, and if you go from the 3, it's 1.
Outlaws line up for the extra point. Another direct snap to Landon. He rolls out to his right. He's going to try to push it to the outside again, and he is in. Another great run to the outside for Landon, and that'll give him the 2-point conversion. And at the end of the first half, the Creek Outlaws lead the Village Toros 8-0. An impressive drive from the Outlaws as they get the big stop on 4th down and then go all the way back down the field and punch it in to the end zone and then get the 2-point conversion to take an 8-0 lead right at the end of the half. Couldn't have timed that one out any better. And impressive runs the entire drive from Carter Ott and Landon Mirbella. So now we will take a short halftime break, and then when we come back, it'll be the second half. And the Outlaws will have the ball to start this as well, as they deferred at the beginning of the game. Are we able to go to break? Do you guys have a commercial thing? So 8 minutes remaining before we get set for the second half, and we saw one offensive drive from each of the teams, and again, the Toros able to drive all the way down the field. They got to the 10-yard line, but then it was the Outlaws who made a big stop. They hunkered down, got the turnover on downs, and then drove right back down the field with a couple of great run plays to eventually punch it in the end zone and get the 2-point conversion to take an 8-0 lead right at the end of the half.
Out there? Yeah. That would be them. They have the PA.
Mirbella was the one who ran that one into the end zone. He's got the only touchdown of the day so far. Cheerleaders are out there ready to do for a halftime show. Hi, everybody, and welcome back as we are here on this beautiful Saturday for the NFYFC Championship weekend. Currently have the Creek Outlaws taking on the Village Toros in the 6 and under game to start things off. The Outlaws lead it 8-0 at the end of the first half, capped off by a touchdown run from Mirabella, and then a 2-point conversion to give the Outlaws that 8-0 lead. So we'll get set up for the start of the second half now. Outlaws will receive the ball as they deferred after winning the coin toss. Again, Outlaws wearing their black uniforms and their white numbers. Toros wearing the pink uniforms, black pants, and the black numbers. And the Outlaws will be looking to try and repeat that success they had on their opening offensive drive and go up 2 scores. They can do that here. Put a lot of pressure on the Torres for their next drive.
All right, here we go. Outlaws ball. Both teams had long drives in the first half. Each team only having the ball once.
And we are set to go now for the second half. The Outlaws will start on their own 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line, 1st and 10 to start this second half. Only one drive.
Get lined up in shotgun, and again, Landon Mirabella is in the backfield for the Outlaws. He takes the snap. He's going to run it out to the outside. He's got some room to run. Makes a nice cut there. One-man miss. Cuts it again. Goes back a little bit, but this time the Toros wrap him up. But it's enough for the first down. And the Outlaws will set up for a 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line. Landon made a great cut early. Made one man miss and then tried to make another cut, but ended up getting pushed back a couple of yards. But a good run nonetheless as he picked up the first down. Outlaws get set up for 1st and 10 again. Another direct snap and a reverse once again. This time to Carter Ott, and he's got some room. He gets up into the secondary. Picked up about 8 yards on the play. See where they mark it. It'll bring up a 2nd and 3. So they gave him about 7 yards on the play. It's been the Carter Ott and Landon Mirabella show early. And they have put on some impressive runs to start this second half. And were fantastic in the first half as well. So now 2nd and 3 for the Outlaws. So they get lined up. Landon set up in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He's going to run it to the far sideline. But a good tackle from the Toros defense. And depending on the spot, looks like he got just back to the line of scrimmage. But good job by the Toros to recognize the play and get him near the backfield. So 3rd and 3 now for the Outlaws. Outlaws set up for their 3rd and 3 now. Landon takes a snap. He'll hand it off to Carter. He tries to bounce out to the outside, fumbles the ball, and it's recovered by the Torres. Well, actually, they reversed the reverse on me there as well. That was Landon who got the reverse. But because the fumble happened behind the line of scrimmage, it's going to be a dead ball, which means Outlaws will keep the ball, but now it's a 4th and 6. Carter Ott not able to hold on to the ball on that one as he tried to get around to the outside. The reverse play has been very successful for them in the first half, but Toro's making some good defensive plays. So 4th and 6. The refs are currently discussing something right here, figuring out exactly what should happen. Outlaws making a sub. Coming into the game is number 17. That's Keeson Hopper.
Here we go. The fumble was behind the line of scrimmage, so it does return back to the original line of scrimmage.
So the refs have finished talking, and the ball will go back to the original line of scrimmage where that play started before the fumble. So it's going to be a fourth and 4. They're close to our 4th and 3. Outlaws take the snap. It's a run to the out far sideline. He's got some room, still on his feet, and he's finally taken down at the 25-yard line. That was Landon Mirabella on the carry again. And the Outlaws have shown, even if you get them into 4th and long situations, they can run the ball and pick up those 4th and longs. Now 1st and 10 for the Outlaws. And they're actually going to mark them at the 26-yard line. Now deep into Toro's territory. Outlaws take the snap. They're going to hand this one off in the backfield. Toro's in, trying to make a tackle, but he's still on his feet, running towards the sidelines. And he's brought down at the 20-yard line, but a good pickup there to make it 2nd and 4.
Second down 4. Outlaws have the ball to Toro's 20. 17 and a half minutes left in the first championship game on Championship Saturday.
So now 2nd and 4 for the Outlaws. 17 minutes remaining in that first half. Outlaws take the snap. They're going to hand it off. And it's Ott, who's still on his feet. He's going to the end zone, and he's got the touchdown. Carter Ott picks up his first down of the game. And that will give the Outlaws a 2-possession lead with 16, just about over 16 minutes remaining in the first half. They're going to go for 2 again here.
On the conversion attempt.
Now set up again. Quarterback under center, takes the snap. He'll hands it off here to Mirbella, running to the outside, and he is in for the 2-point conversion.
And the point after attempt is good.
The Outlaws continue to show their strength in the run game and have now scored twice and converted for 2 8-point conversions. Give them a 16-0 lead.
And your score with 15 minutes and 27 seconds left in the championship game for the Lieutenant Division. Creeks Outlaws lead by 16 to nothing.
So both Mirbella and Ott with touchdowns on the day. Mirbella also has a 2-point conversion, it's both the 2-point conversions. And now it's ball back to the Toros to try and get something going here offensively. Now down 16-0 with about 15 minutes remaining in that first half.
All right, Toros ball, 1st and 10. Quarterback in shotgun.
And that snap low and on the ground, so it'll be a loss of down. So 2nd and 10 now for the Toros on their
2nd down 10, Toros.
own 35-yard line. It's been one issue for the Toros in this game is they've had a lot of lost downs due to snaps that are either low or the quarterback just hasn't been able to handle. Again, Toros lining up in the shotgun. They take the snap and another
Ball hits the ground again.
dead ball again, so that'll set up a 3rd and 10 now. That was Robertson.
Under 14.
Tried to handle that snap. He almost had it, but it's a big ball for him to try and hold on to on a good snap from the center. And credit to the Outlaws who have taken it. They've seen the Toros' mistakes and have kept the ball on the ground, handing them off, and have been able to do a couple direct snaps as well, and that's helped them keep their drives alive. So now a 3rd and 10, still on their own 35-yard line. And again, the Toros will line up in the shotgun. Takes the snap. This one, a good one, running to the outside, and he stumbled and fell down to the ground and fell about a yard short of the line of scrimmage. So it'll set up a 4th and 11 now. Well, they got the snap off that time, but not able to stay on his feet. It ends up turning into a loss of 1. And a big 4th down coming up for the Toros as they look to try and keep this drive alive. Meanwhile, for the Outlaws can get a big stop here. Already up 16-0. They can just about put this game to bed. Now a timeout by the Villages with 12:31 remaining in the second half.
Not everybody had the concession stand going underneath the home stands. Sun's beating down. Get some treats, something cool to drink.
The Toros will discuss this 4th down play coming up here. It's a big one for them, hoping they can get a good run off. If you're just joining us, Mirabella and Ott scored the touchdowns for the Outlaws to put them up 16-0. They went for 2 both times and were successful. And it's been 2 very long drives for the Outlaws, all the way back from basically their own 10-yard line. They've been able to have some nice long sustained drives, and that's how they lead 16-0. So we're back now on the 4th and 11 for the Toros. Takes the snap, looks to the left, now looking back to the right. He's going to throw this one, and that one falls incomplete. He had a man open, but the throws just couldn't get there. So a big stop for the Outlaws defense, and now they will get the ball back with 12-10 remaining in this second half, and they already lead 16-0. It was our first throw of the game, first passing attempt, and they almost pulled it off. It would have been a huge play, probably would have been a touchdown had the ball been able to get there. But that ball is just fell a little bit short. Well, 1st and 10 for the Outlaws, and they will start at the Toros 34-yard line.
Head out to the field and check plays here at 11 minutes, 35 seconds left.
Coach is trying to get their team set. It looks like the referees are discussing now. Outlaws make a sub. Number 8, Carter Ott, comes out, and into the game was number 58. That was Richard Garfeld. Carter Ott has been excellent for the Outlaws in this game with a touchdown and a whole bunch of rushing yards as well. $11:35 remaining in this second half. I'm not 100% sure what the holdup is here. Officials are still discussing. And looks like we're good to go now.
Start the action back up here.
So the Outlaws start 1st and 10 on their own 30, on the Toros 34-yard line, excuse me. They'll take the snap, running to the outside. Toros trying to make a tackle in the backfield. They can't, and he makes a nice pick, about 4 yards. That was number 22 on the carry again, Landon Mirabella. So it's going to be 2nd and about 4 now with 11 minutes remaining in the second half. Outlaws trying to score their third touchdown of the game. They've had two drives, which have both resulted in touchdowns and the 2-point conversions, putting them up 16-0. Mirbella lines up in the backfield. He'll take the snap, and that one underneath his hands. It'll be a loss of down, so that'll set up a 3rd and 4.
Hey, do you want are the parents to come through right here with John and then go over to where the trophies are, and then we'll let them out to the swimway, right? Is that how you wanted to go? No? Okay, so they'll walk the concrete around. Got it. Okay. All right, bye. All right, Outlaws, 3rd down and long 3, maybe 4 here.
3rd and 4 for the Outlaws now. Set up to go again. Here's the snap. Mirbella gets this one. He's going to run and cut back to the outside. Still on his feet, trying to pick up that 1st down, and he gets just near that 1st down yard marker. We'll see where they spot it. Initial guess here is it looks like they're going to be short and about 4th and inches.
Looks like it will be 4th and very short for the Outlaws.
But the Outlaws have shown that they can pick up just about any length of a 4th down. They picked up a 4th and 14 earlier. Nine minutes now remaining in this second half with the Outlaws leading 16-0.
Fourth down here. Outlaws trying to keep this drive alive. Toros trying to hold on defense. Under 9 minutes to go.
And a whistle here. We had a legal formation, and Toros coaches corrected quickly. And now we're good to go. So 4th and inches for the Outlaws. Here's the snap. They're going to hand this one off, and he gets taken down right at the line of scrimmage. He might be short.
May have held, and
And
they did.
they do, coming up with a big stop.
Big stop by the Toros.
So now the Toros will take back over with 7:55 remaining in that second half. Outlaws ran right into a big wall right at the line of scrimmage. Good defensive stand from the Toros. Outlaws still lead 16-0. The Toros hoping to get something going offensively. They haven't had much success. A lot of issues with the snapping.
What a great ball game these two teams have played for our first game on Championship Saturday.
Don't forget to stick around with us even after this game. It's the first of 4 total championship games today. Coming up next is the 8 and under group. After this game wraps up. So the Toros now starting to go on offense here with 6:47 remaining. They'll take the snap. That one's successful. But the Outlaws take them down in the backfield. They were all over that. And that'll set up a 2nd and 11 now. Got to give credit to the Outlaws defense as well, where even where the Toros have had a couple of plays developing, they've shut it down with some good defensive work. Now we get set for 2nd and 11. Here's the snap. It's going to run to the outside. Toro's still on his feet, and here he goes. He's got some room. He's across midfield. I don't think anybody's going to catch him. Down to the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, and he's in for the touchdown. A huge run for the Toros, and they have got 6 points on the board with 5 minutes remaining in the second half. It looked like he was going to be taken down for a short gain, but broke out, got into the secondary, and all the way into the end zone.
And the point after attempt will be for 2 points from the 5-yard line.
So now the Toros will line up for the 2-point conversion. Takes the direct snap, runs it to the outside. He's got some room, trying to get up there, and he's in for the 2-point conversion. That was number 21, Robertson. And now it is 16 to 8. Was a near 80-plus yard touchdown run for the Toros to get themselves on the board. So the Toros show a little bit of life here on offense as they get a nice run there. A lot of credit to the Toros. You know, many would have said they were out and done for the game, but they stuck with it and put off a huge 80-plus yard touchdown run. So 1st and 10 now for the Outlaws with 3:50 remaining in the second half. Unless the Toros can get a quick stop here. Outlaws trying to just run this clock out as much as they can. Here's the snap. It's going to be a short handoff up the middle. That's number 8 back in the game, Carter Ott, but he's not able to get much, so that'll bring up a 2nd and 10, and the Toros will take a timeout. So 3:18 remaining in the second half. This game not quite over yet. If the Toros defense can come up with a big stop, they might have a shot. They did use up all their timeouts. They only have 2 timeouts for the half, and they used one earlier before this drive. Outlaws lining up for 2nd and 10 now. Shotgun formation. Merbella takes the snap. He's going to run it to the outside. He's got some room to run. He's across. He's got the first down, and he's taken down at just about the 47-yard line, and that should just about do it. A great run from Merbella to pick up that first down, and it's 1st and 10 for the Outlaws with 2:54 remaining in the second half. They lead 16 to 8.
Toros looking for a big play here on defense.
Outlaws take the snap. They're going to hand this one off to Merbella again, and he is taken down way in the backfield. Good job by the Toros defense. That was number 10 on the tackle, Nico Smith. We do have a flag on the play, it seems. Not 100% sure what the call was, but it.
Flag on the field appears to be declined. Second down.
It's going to make it a second and long now for the Outlaws. 2nd and 14. Now just a minute 48 remaining in the second half. We'll take the snap. Merbella again trying to run out to the right. Toros trying to take him down in the backfield. Merbella going back the other way now. He made one man miss. Now he's across all the way to midfield. And he's finally taken down. But a flag comes down on the play. Merbella going all the way to the near sideline. Saw he was in trouble, had nothing to do. Cut all the way back to the far sideline and turned that into a huge gain. Although it might be coming back because of the flag, unfortunately. It is against the Outlaws, so play won't count, but Merbella made a great play to turn what would have been a huge loss into a positive gain. With the penalty setting them back there a little bit. So 3rd and 14 now.
All right, here we go.
Minute 29 remaining in this second half.
Down in distance here in a minute. It's definitely going to be about 7 to go. And it is 4th down, Outlaws.
They're now moving the ball up, actually, so it's going to be fourth and, nope, it's going to be 3rd and 7, it looks like. Officials are conferring now. So right now it's about 3rd and 7 with a minute 17 remaining in this second half. And it is going to be 4th down. So 4th and 7 for the Outlaws, looking to try and put this game away. Toros looking to try and come up with a big stop, maybe get this ball back with under a minute to go. Outlaws take the snap. It's direct to Merbella. He'll run to the outside. Cuts up the middle. He's got the first down and still going. He's across the 30, and he's finally taken down at the 25-yard line. A huge first down for the Outlaws, and that will do it. Time will continue to tick down now, and the Outlaws, after picking up a huge first down, will win this one 16 to 8, sorry. Clock winds down, and it has officially hit 0, so the Outlaws win the 6 under NFYFC championship by a final score of 16 to 8. Congratulations to the Creek Outlaws who win this first game. Touchdowns from Merbella and Ott. And A great job by the Outlaws on offense, pulling off some huge runs. And credit to the Toros as well, even though they come away with a loss in this game. They were getting shut out even late in the second half, and then they had an 80-plus yard touchdown run to get them back in the game, and they fought all the way until the end. So that'll do it for the first game. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll get you set for the second matchup. It'll be the 8 under group.